So I've been looking at getting a little bit more variety in my stuff. It's been one of those things that is kind of a struggle for me. I always feel like I do the same type of thing over and over. So one of the things that I did was I downloaded a book, and I'll post that in the forum. Uh, but as I'm using this book to kind of do their exercises, and part of their exercises is draw X amount of heads and draw X amount of, characters and stuff like that. And so as I do this, you can see my initial sketches were kind of very similar, very rough. And so what I did was I wound up actually starting to look at like different animal heads and different things like that, and I started basing things off of the things I saw on Google and things like that. And I thought that was a much I got much more variety if I scrolled through the random pictures, and then I found some inspiration, and I kind of just doodled something on top of that. And that was something that I felt like it really helped me develop uh, much more interesting kind of head sketches and things like that. So that is, as I do this, as I, just kind of go through and draw. And I did this particular one on the iPad Pro. And as I went and did this, just these basic thumbnails really kind of helped me explore. And with Google as an inspiration, I felt like I wasn't stuck. There was always another image to go and give me kind of an idea to kind of work from. And so, I did all these heads, and it took me about 2 nights to do. I spent about 2 nights basically painting this all the way through, and kind of, forming it out and stuff like that. And I'm going to take this and move it further, move it into another level where I have more details and more things like that. But these were just really simple line roughs, and I felt like the more I looked online for the inspiration, the faster it flowed. Um, and I did the same thing for this next session, which is coming up here in a second. But I didn't use Google. I simply just started drawing figures and doing things like that. And I kind of, you know, came up with this base idea, and started like really rendering, sketches, and kind of pushing out that character. And I was coming up with the ideas. And what I did earlier this week was, or this month, was actually worked on ZBrush. And I'll put a link on some of the tutorials that I found that really kind of helped me with ZBrush. And after watching the tutorials, uh, it made me realize that ZBrush is very powerful tool. I mean, you can use it just about for concepting anything. And so that is something that I found that really kind of helped me out. And so as I kind of developed my ideas for the ZBrush model that I did, uh, it was really something that really kind of sold my ideas. Now, like I said, I didn't use Google that much here. I just kind of explored different shapes and stuff. Keeping it very simple, keeping it very basic. But I think I had a more of a struggle with getting these out than with getting um, than with the heads I did previously. Those heads were something that I felt like I really struggled with, or I didn't struggle at all. I mean, this was a lot more of a struggle because it was like I had to force each and every idea. And then this particular one is just a sketch that I did for. I just got bored when one day I was working with different things, And so I just took two different poses, very basic, very simple tones, and I did really rough outlines, and then I just used a pen tool in the iPad Pro, and I've kind of painted it out or hand drawn out. And even though these are like very simple characters, I think they still work for basic idea driven type of thing. And I can take this into you know whatever I do, and I can turn this into a ZBrush model. I can turn this into just a finished painting, um, and I can do a multitude of different things that allow me to basically create a start product for me to work with.